Hi, Katie here at Be The Change. I'm here with one of my longtime students, George McLaughlin, and I'm leading you through a sequence today to strengthen the muscles in the spine as well as open the chest, which is something that we can all use a lot more of because we're constantly bending forward and collapsing in the chest. So I invite you to meet us on your mats. If you have a blanket or blocks, that'd be great. Thank you.
All right, so let's start lying on the back with the knees bent. We're going to begin this practice with some belly breathing, so taking the hands down on the belly. You just close the eyes and start to find the breath. So with your inhalation, send it all the way down into the bottom of the lungs, expanding belly like a balloon. And then exhale out the nose, draw the navel to the spine. Good. So slowing down the breath, making it a little more conscious, a little more deliberate. We're going to begin to count the breath. So exhale everything out. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale belly, 2, 3, 4, 5, and suspend. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2. Squeeze all the air out. So find a breath ratio that is comfortable for you and a ratio that you can maintain throughout the entire practice, making sure that the breath is long and smooth in every pose, and the breath is the backbone to this practice. So next inhale, George, let's take both arms up and overhead. So reaching through the fingers, take them all the way back to arch the upper back. And then exhale, bring both knees into the chest, hands on top of each kneecap. And as you exhale, draw the knees in towards the body, squeezing. And then inhale, press the knees away. Hands stay on the knees, arms straighten. Exhale, the knees draw into the chest, squeeze all the air out, and then inhale, press them away. So a couple more times just like this. We're synchronizing breath with movement. So every time you exhale, we're flattening the low back, creating some stimulation there, releasing tension. And as you inhale, the belly gets big, helping digestion. So you can do this every single day when you get home from work. It's a wonderful way to release pain in the low back. And always starting every movement with the breath. Good. So exhale everything out. Let's make this movement bigger. So your next inhalation will take both legs to the sky and both arms overhead to the floor behind you. Spread the fingers and the toes, awakening the legs. Exhale, knees to chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale, legs up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Suspend. Slow exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze all the air out. Hold at the bottom. Inhale, lengthen. 2, 3, 4, 5. Suspend the breath. Let's hold it here. You can soften the knees if that's more comfortable. And then exhale, knees to chest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the bottom. Squeeze every last bit of air from the lungs. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. 2, 3, 4, 5. Suspend and pause. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath out. Nice. Last one. Inhale, lift. 2, 3. So this opens the shoulders, relax the shoulder blades. You can bend the knees if that's more comfortable. Spread those toes, and then exhale, bring the knees back to the chest. Good. And you can rock the knees side to side, massaging low back. So you're always listening to your body. Feel free to modify any and all poses throughout this practice or any other yoga practice. And so with each pose, we're getting a little bit warmer. And now we'll move into bridge pose. So we'll bend the knees, plant the feet hip distance, hands on the floor by the sides of the hips. So we'll start with just one arm. So exhale everything out first. And then inhale, lift the hips and just the right arm. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then look over the left shoulder to rotate the neck. Exhale, look center. Lower hips and arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly 1, tucking tailbone. Inhale, lift hips and left arm. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause at the top. Look over the right shoulder, rotating neck. Exhale, look center. Lower arm and hips. 1 vertebra at a time. Good. So one more each side. So the inhalation lifts you up. You pause at the top so you don't turn the head until the arm touches. So you make sure you're safe, good foundation. And then exhale, head turns back. Then from top to bottom, we roll down, tucking the tailbone, squeezing the belly in. So last one like this. Pressing into the feet, you lift the hips, the left arm, lengthen, rotate neck. Exhale, look center and slowly drop back down, arm and hips. Good. So now both arms. Your inhalation presses into the feet, lifts arms and hips. Pause here at the top, so suspend the breath for the count of 3. Exhale, lower down, arms and hips. Nice and slowly hold the breath out. And so continue for a few more rounds on your own, knowing that you can modify this breath ratio. So you can decrease the ratio. Maybe it doesn't feel appropriate to hold at the top of the inhale. If you have high blood pressure, I would not do that. So you're always listening to your body's cues and adapting to the practice according to your needs at this moment in time. Good, nice, George. So this time we're going to hold bridge pose. So we'll stay for 5 full breaths. So the knees and the ankles are lined up. The glutes are relaxed. We're really engaging the low back muscles and the hamstrings to lift. The shoulders are soft. There's a nice long neck. You never put a blanket under the neck for bridge pose. And you watch the belly lift and lower with each breath. Good. So last inhale here. And then slowly lower down with control, 1 vertebra at a time. And at the bottom of the exhalation, we'll bring the knees to the chest. So once the hips drop down, we'll release the back, knees to chest. You can rock the knees side to side, or you can circle the knees, stimulating a little pressure on the sacrum, the tailbone, changing the direction. Good. And then back to center. We're going to transition now onto all fours. So maybe roll to the right side, George. Take some time. And then press your hands into the floor and make your way onto hands and knees. I like to put a blanket underneath the knees for support. So making a square, the knees are directly under the hips, the palms are under the shoulders. So you can spread the fingers, or like George is making a fist, that feels better for his wrists, you can do that too. So now getting more into the hips. Inhale, let's extend the right leg back behind, so flex the foot. So lift the leg up, George, yep. And then exhale, bring the knee to the nose, so just start small. Inhale, lengthen, tuck the chin, pull the head forward. Exhale, knee to nose, round. Good, a couple times, use the breath. Inhale, pause here. And then slow exhale, press through the hands, squeeze the belly up. Nice. Inhale, expand. So spread those toes, tuck the chin. Exhale, round and hollow. Hold through the bottom of the exhale, squeeze. Then inhale, lengthen again. Option 1, you stay right here. Option 2, you can extend your opposite arm. So the left arm would go out. Yeah, and then breathing 3-dimensionally here. So we want to have a nice flat low back. The neck is really long, slight tuck of the chin. And he's breathing into the back, the sides, and the belly with the inhalation, and stabilizing with the exhale. So last inhale in this spinal balance. And then slowly drop the hand, drop the knee back to table. And then take the knees wide and the toes together for child's pose, Balasana. So the arms can extend out in front. Good. This is always a nice place to give a good adjustment. Coming back to the breath. Slowing everything down. In the practice of Hatha Yoga, which is the physical practice, we balance building heat in the body and then cooling off, allowing the heat to dissipate. So child's pose is a great way to do that. It's also a reflective pose, a very calming pose. And so with your next inhale, George, let's come back into tabletop. Knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, left leg straight back, flex the foot. Exhale, knee to nose, round the spine, press away from the floor. Inhale, you lengthen, so pulling crown the head away from the foot. Exhale, round and hollow. Good, move with breath. Start to inhale, then expand. Begin to exhale and then contract. Round through the upper back. Last one like this. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, round and hollow. Hold at the bottom of the exhale. This is more engaging. You're squeezing all the air out, engaging your core. Then inhale, lengthen the spine. Option 1, stay. Option 2, extend through the right arm, tucking the chin. And then try to slow down the breath. A lot of times people clench when they hold these stronger poses. So can you activate the calming power of the breath so that you are strong yet relaxed in every pose? Sthira Sukham Asanam. Then gently release the hand, the knee, go back into your version of child's pose. Knees can be together or wide. Good. So in child's pose, I like to invite my students to breathe into the back of the body. So I'll say, inhale, breathe into my hands, and then exhale, they can sink deeper. So even in this type of pose, you're still extremely conscious of the breath. And then when you're ready, we'll move back into a tabletop position, into our next sequence. So finding our alignment. Inhale, lift the chest and the tailbone, cat pose. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, cow. Inhale, lift chest and tailbone. And then exhale, tuck the toes. And we're going to lift the hips for downward facing dog. So the feet are hip distance. Bend and straighten each knee. This is our first down dog, so we're just warming up the back of the body. Yeah, trying to really open the upper back. Couple breaths here. Nice, George. Really spread those fingers, pull the head away. Take a nice deep breath in. And with your exhalation, slowly drop the knees back down to the blanket. Inhale, lift the chest and the tailbone, arching. Exhale, round the spine. Take the hips all the way back to child's pose. So all the way back we go. Extending the arms out, catching your breath. So anytime we sequence poses together with the breath, it's known as a vinyasa. So this is a nice energizing vinyasa. Cat-cow, down dog, cat-cow, child's pose. So we'll take this 2 more times. Inhale, come up into table. Lift the chest and the tailbone, arching the back. Exhale, round the spine, press the earth away. Inhale, lift chest and tailbone. Exhale, tuck the toes, down dog. Good. So each round we're getting a little warmer. So we try to broaden through the upper back. Let's bend the right knee and straighten the left leg. So feeling the energy down the back line of the body. Keep breathing 3-dimensionally. And then switch. Straighten the opposite leg. Keeping the breath long and smooth. And straighten both legs. Big breath in. Exhale, slowly drop to the knees. Inhale, lift the chest and the tailbone, so arching. Exhale, round the spine, squeeze the belly, and go back into child's pose, all the way back. So you can feel the forehead connect with the earth. Maybe closing the eyes, slowing down. And then the last round like this. Inhale into tabletop. Lift the chest and the tailbone. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, lift chest and tailbone. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. So this last round you can hold down dog as it is. If you want, feel free to lift your right leg in the air for 3-legged dog. So you press down with the left heel. It doesn't have to go very high, but you're really just pressing and lengthening. This is a very strong pose. Drop the right foot and then lift up the left leg. Couple breaths, doing great. I know this is a challenging one. Good, last one. Really press out of the wrist, lift through the leg, drop your foot. And this time, walk your feet up to the hands. So you're just going to walk into a standing forward fold. And then soften the knees. And then shake the head yes and no. I like to grab the elbows. You can tick-tock from side to side. Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Good. So if you have a history of herniated discs or strained low back muscles, you would not want to do this pose. You'd want to keep a flat back versus bending all the way down. Good. So let's come up to standing. Bend the knees, George. Arms in line with the ears. Flat back, come all the way up to mountain pose. And then take the hands alongside the body. Tadasana, mountain pose. So we'll spread the toes, feet hip distance or together. Take the shoulders up, back, and down. Open the chest. And then half sun salutations. Inhale, arms straight up, palms face each other. Exhale, flat back, bend the knees. The arms are in line with the ears as you go all the way down to the floor. Inhale, halfway up, hands to the knees. Lengthen through the crown of the head, tucking chin. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, arms in line with the ears, rising all the way up to standing. Full inhale, exhale, hands by the sides. You catch your breath. Good, so pause. I invite you to close your eyes to observe the energetic effect. Good, sun salutations are building heat in the body, so we take time to let it dissipate. So inhale, we'll lift the arms up and overhead. Exhale, flat back, bend the knees, tuck the chin, reach forward. Beautiful. Inhale, halfway up. Long, flat back, yes. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, soften the knees, reach the arms up in line with the ears. Come all the way to stand. Great inhalation. Exhale, hands down by the sides. Be still. Observe. In the last round like this, inhale, upward salute, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Tuck the chin. Exhale, fold again. Inhale, bend the knees, rise up to standing. One piece, flat back, looks great. Exhale, hands by the sides of the body. Catch your breath. Good. So what was really important about that was going up and down with a flat back, which is going to strengthen the muscles and protect the spine as we move, as well as keeping the knees bent. All right. So we're going to move now into Warrior One pose and then release in Pyramid pose. So we'll step the right foot forward and the left foot back for Warrior One. So a little further back, George, with the back foot. Now bend the front knee. Good. If the knee goes past the ankle, then make the stance wider. Take your hands on the hips because you want the hips to face forward. Good. Bend the knee and then inhale, bring both arms up in line with the ears. Palms face each other. Exhale, straighten the knee and then take the hands by the sides of the body. Inhale, bends the knee, lifts the arms, drop the shoulders. Exhale, straighten the leg, release the hands. Good, a couple more, use your breath. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale, straighten the limbs. Weights even between both feet. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, straighten the leg and the arms. Good. So last one, moving into Warrior One. So palms face each other. Let's relax the shoulders, staying in the pose. Beautiful. So the right hip draws back and the inner thighs squeeze together. Press through the outer edge of the back foot. So the hands can stay where they are, or you can interlace them behind the back if that feels more comfortable for your shoulders. Good. So let's take 3 more breaths here. This pose is wonderful in that it strengthens the legs, the back muscles, and is opening the front of the body, which really helps digestion and improving lung capacity. Great. So let's take the hands to the hips. And to transition into pyramid, we'll step the back foot closer and wider. So the left toes would point to the upper left corner of the mat. Perfect. So you draw back on the right hip. And then inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, flat back halfway down. You tuck the chin. Hold here. Good. So the front right hip draws back. Yeah. Leveling the low back. Front knee is straight but not locked. And then you can slide the hands to the blocks, the shin, or the floor. Good. Uttanasana, pyramid pose. And I like to rock my hips a little bit left and right, kind of feeling into the different hamstring muscles here. So you find the spot that needs a little more attention, that feels a little bit stuck. And then you stay there for a couple breaths. Good, so last few breaths. So this is more of a cooling and calming pose versus pyramid was really energizing, activating in that back bend. And to come out safely, you bend the front knee first. Take the hands to the hips. Flat back, inhale, lift up. Pause, catch your breath. People get a little lightheaded or dizzy, so no need to rush. And then exhale, step the left foot up to meet the right, mountain pose. Observing the difference between the legs, the energetic effect of these last 2 poses. Good. And now Warrior One on the left side. So left foot forward, right foot back. This is longer than pyramid. Hands to the hips face the front. You bend your front knee. Good, pause here. Find the alignment of the joints. Then inhale, take the arms up in line, shoulders drop, palms face each other. And then exhale, straighten the leg, bring the arms down. Inhale, bends the knee, drops the shoulders, lifts the chest. Exhale, straighten the leg, pull the belly in, squeeze the air out. Inhale, Warrior One. Soft shoulders. Exhale, straighten the limbs. Last one. Inhale, rise up. Relax here into the pose. Press through the outer edge of the back foot. Fill the front of the body with the breath. So all the muscles in the back are working, they're contracting, they're lifting him upright to counteract the effects of our forward slumping culture. Everything we do, we reach forward. So this is a beautiful pose to counteract all of those patterns. And of course, we're improving our digestion by breathing into the front body. Hands to the hips. Step the back foot closer and wider, turning the right toes to the upper right corner of the mat. Hands to the hips, pull back on the left hip. Big breath in, get long. Exhale, flat back, halfway down, hold it here. So the left hip draws back, the right hip forward. Starting with this flat back, once again we're strengthening these back muscles. And then exhale, hands to the shin, the block, or the floor. Pyramid pose, you can relax the neck, totally let go. Feel free to rock a little side to side. Finding that perfect spot for your body. Always listening, always refining the practice to your needs. So your inhalation can fill the back of the body or the sides of the body. Exhalation engages the core to go deeper into the fold. And to come out, you bend the knee, take the hands to the hips, flat back, inhale, we lift up in one piece, pause at the top, catch your breath, and then step the feet together, front of the mat, mountain pose. Nice energizing standing sequence. So now we're going to go back to the floor for pigeon pose. All right, so moving on to the floor for pigeon pose. We'll start in tabletop, but you're also welcome to move into this pose from downward facing dog. And we'll bring the right knee up behind the right wrist, heel toe the ankle 45 degrees, then slide the left knee back. Good, so stay right there. Inhale, lift the chest to open up the heart, get the length of the spine. And then exhale, begin to crawl the hands forward, moving to your forearms. And if you have any sensitivities in your knee or your hips, then I would suggest doing the version on your back with a reclining figure 4, where you'd bring ankle to knee and then interlace hands behind the thigh. This can put a lot of pressure on the knee. Good. So this is a nice relaxing pose. Lengthening the muscles in the back, in the hips, the glutes. My students like to stay here for quite some time, but for today's practice it's going to be a little bit shorter. So maybe we'll stay for 5 more breaths. This is a great pose to breathe 3-dimensionally into the back of the body as you inhale, and then exhale, you can sink a little bit deeper into this fold. You can also release some tension in the neck. These neck muscles hold us up all day long, carrying the weight of the head. So it's always important to release the neck in passive yoga poses. And when you're ready to come out of the pose, you'll walk the hands slowly towards the body to lift the chest as you inhale. And then exhale, you can release the right leg back through tabletop or even downward dog. So it's your choice, whatever feels most comfortable to release the leg. You can shake it out, you can take child's pose, cat-cow, whatever feels right. And then moving on to the left side, you'll extend the left leg back. And then bring the left knee behind the left wrist, heel toe the ankle 45 degrees. Slide the right knee back, very important movement. Inhale to lift the chest, and then slow exhale, crawling down to the forearms. This is not a pose that you rush into. It takes the body a while to get ready to sink into such a deep stretch. So I invite you to focus more on the breath than the body. Allow the breath to relax the muscles in the body, letting go of any tension that you are still carrying, any resistance. And maybe you place your internal awareness on the exact place that's being stretched. Can you feel those muscle fibers holding on, clinging, and then start to soften, start to relax them? This practice of yoga helps us to create space in the body and then also space in the mind as well. So last couple breaths. And when you're ready to come out of the pose, you press the hands into the floor. Start to lift the chest, crawling the hands in. Take an inhalation at the top. And then exhale, release the left leg behind you. You can give it a shake through tabletop or through down dog. Good. And then we'll transition on our back to finish up the practice. So however you want to get there, we'll bring the knees to the chest. So no blanket under the head because we're going to finish with some reclining twists. Good. Rocking knees side to side. And then planting the feet onto the floor. Walk the feet as wide as the mat. Open the arms to a T. And then begin to windshield wiper knees left and right. This is also a really wonderful stretch to do at the end of a long day. Good. And then we'll drop the knees over to the right for a reclining twist. So the neck is really long, and you can take the gaze over the left shoulder. So option 1, you stay in this variation. Option 2, right ankle on top of the left knee to go deeper. It adds a little bit more leverage. Good. And then with each breath, you're lengthening on the inhalation. So you're pulling the crown of the head away from the tailbone. And then as you exhale, you're rotating the torso. So you're using the breath to go a little further into the twist. And your inhalation fills the side body. So the area that's being opened, you're directing the breath into that space. So try to stretch the intercostal muscles between the ribs so that we can improve our lung capacity and the elasticity of the rib cage, which tends to get very tight. And to come out, release the right ankle, and then turn the head to center. Windshield wiper knees left and right. And let the knees fall to the left this time for a twist. Take the gaze over the right shoulder. So moving slowly. You can choose to place the ankle onto the knee. So your inhalation is pulling the spine apart. It's lengthening the vertebra. In the exhalation, you use your abdominal muscles to rotate the spine. To exhale all the air out. And it's really important that you keep both shoulder blades on the ground. People tend to lift up one side. So think of your shoulder blades as like your anchor points. And directing the breath into the side body that is being stretched. Last couple breaths. And to release the pose, bring the head to center, release the ankle, windshield wiper knees side to side. Good. And then maybe draw the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze. And then making your way into your Shavasana, extending the legs out, palms up alongside the body, and we'll place a blanket under the head for support. So you can relax the shoulders away from the ears. In this pose, you release control of the breath. So you allow the breath to just be very light, very natural. With every exhalation, softening a little deeper into the floor. And begin to release tension throughout every muscle in the body, relaxing the muscles in the face, forehead. Relax the muscles behind the eyes. The mouth and the jaw are relaxed. The neck and the shoulders, the arms and the hands. So the only thing moving is the breath, the rise and fall of the breath. The chest and the belly are relaxed. The hips and the legs are relaxed. The calves and the feet. Everything is heavy and sinking down into the earth. Anything that you are still carrying, let it go. Now is the time to release it. So I invite you to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. They say this is the most important pose of the practice. The ability to be still, to be aware and alert, yet calm and relaxed. And it is this work that we do on our yoga mats that enables us to cultivate this mental state throughout each moment of our lives. So thank you so much for joining us. Namaste.
Thank you so much for practicing with us. For more videos like this, please subscribe to our Be the Change YouTube channel. Thank you. Namaste.